This is crazy, and this changes everything because all this time we've been waiting on Kennedy Carter to take responsibility for what she did to Caitlin Clark.
What's going on, y'all? This time, it wasn't just another update, it was the update, one that fans, critics, and WNBA watchers alike had been waiting on for months. It was Easter Sunday, and while most folks were winding down from family dinners and egg hunts, John's notifications started going wild. X was buzzing, Instagram DMs flooding in, clips being tagged and shared. And at the center of it all, Kennedy Carter finally speaking up about that moment with Caitlin Clark. Let's rewind the clock. The incident in question? A hard, controversial shove Carter delivered to Clark during a game that quickly went viral. No whistles, no ejection, but definitely no peace since then either. It became a symbol, depending on who you asked. To some, it was a gritty play. To others, an uncalled-for cheap shot on one of the league's most hyped rookies. And yet, Carter stayed silent. Press conferences came and went. She dodged questions, shrugged off mentions, avoided Clark's name like it was Voldemort. Until now. Fast forward to today. Kennedy Carter finally broke her silence, not in a formal interview, not through the league, but in a streamed conversation with one of the world's biggest online personalities. And that's where John tuned in. We watched alongside him, live, as Carter tiptoed around accountability like it was lava. Never once mentioning Caitlin Clark by name, not once. Instead, Carter framed it as classic basketball trash talk, just part of the game, a heated moment. A nice little mid-range pull-up followed by a tap to let the opponent know she was there. But for John, and a whole lot of viewers, that explanation didn't sit right. A tap? Nah, that was a shove. John didn't need to say it twice. You didn't push her, he said, staring wide-eyed at the footage. You shoved her. You physically assaulted her. It wasn't just the physical act, though that clip has been dissected frame by frame. It was the refusal to own it. The tap dancing around the issue, the attempt to normalize a move that even some NBA players would get flack for. She's justifying an assault, John repeated, visibly frustrated. And in his eyes, Carter wasn't making a comeback. She was making excuses. Was this Carter's way of trying to work her way back into the league? That's what it looked like to John. With WNBA training camps just a week away and Carter still unsigned, the timing couldn't be ignored. Sure, Carter brought up comparisons. Guys like Jeff Teague and LeBron James and how the league lets certain things slide. But in John's words, you're not LeBron. And more importantly, that doesn't excuse what happened. John knew this clip was going to blow up. She's gonna get roasted online, he predicted. And honestly, he's probably right. Carter's attempt to brush it all off, to laugh it off even, ended with her saying she loved the hate.
Off of like what people say and shit, and it makes you more motivated.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I love the hate. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That she loved the energy that came with it. And that's when John had enough. There was no joy in that reaction, just disbelief. Because for all the talent Kennedy Carter possesses, and she's got plenty, this moment showed a lack of accountability that could cost her more than just public approval. In the larger conversation, this isn't just about one play or one player. It's about image, accountability, and how athletes, especially in the WNBA, are navigating intense public scrutiny. Caitlin Clark is a star. The kind of generational player who moves jerseys, sells tickets, and shifts narratives. Whether people love her or can't stand the hype, she's undeniably the center of attention. But players like Kennedy Carter, they've been grinding long before Clark was a household name. That frustration is real. The feeling that media and fans only see certain faces, certain names, that's real too. But the answer isn't shoving someone mid-game and calling it part of basketball. Well, if you're trusting our opinion then, here's the take about who's wrong. By now, if you've followed even a smidge of WNBA chatter over the last year, you already know the name that stays ringing out loud and clear, Caitlin Clark. Last season, she had the league buzzing as the rookie to watch. Brilliant, feisty, and not afraid to mix it up. This season, still Clark, but the energy's different. She's not just adjusting to the big stage anymore, she's owning it. More edge, more swagger, more fire. But of course, no rise to stardom happens without drama. Let's rewind to June 1st, 2024. a date WNBA fans won't forget anytime soon. Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky. The game was humming along, nothing out of the ordinary, until, boom, Chennedy Carter gave Clark a hard bump from behind after draining a jumper. Clark hit the hardwood. The crowd went silent. The internet? Oh, it exploded. What was initially ruled a common foul got upgraded to a flagrant one. The Fever walked away with the W, 71-70, but the story had just started. The hit turned into a cultural moment. Was it dirty? Was Clark being targeted? Was this bigger than basketball? Even politicians got involved. One federal lawmaker called the contact an attack. Carter and her Sky teammates were swamped with online hate. Meanwhile, Caitlin, who had already picked up 6 technical fouls by that point in her rookie season, kept it classy. That should have been the end of it. But in today's world, that's never how it goes. Fast forward almost a year later, and Chennedy Carter is finally ready to talk. Not in a press conference, not in a Players Tribune essay, on a live stream, with popular YouTuber N3 On, of all people. She broke it down. Right before that bump, she thinks Clark might have caught her with an elbow. Words were exchanged. Emotions flared. Carter hit a sweet mid-range jumper and, in her words, just hit Clark with an "I'm here" move. She and her brother even watched the replay together, comparing it to NBA moments. And then, the kicker...
No, they think I hate it. I love it. I love when it gets riled up and juicy.
Boom. Mic drop. But here's the thing. Fans aren't buying it. Not even a little bit. Right after the incident last year, Carter had made herself a media wall. Asked about Clark post-game, she snapped, "Deadpan. Over and done." That moment too went viral. And for many, that icy shutdown said more than any apology ever could. So now, after months of silence, Carter's sudden no beef claim on a YouTube stream has folks very suspicious. Is it growth, a shift in mindset, or is it just strategic? Because here's the situation. Chennedy Carter is unsigned. Despite averaging 17.5 points in training camp with the Sky, hooping, really, no WNBA team has picked her up. The Sky said she didn't fit their system. Other teams? Silent. That silence speaks volumes, and fans are connecting the dots. The Aces part is probably just fan fiction, but let's be real. The timing is convenient. It's also impossible to ignore the other layer here. Right after that game in DC last year, something disturbing happened. A man, reportedly hurling racist and misogynistic insults, approached Sky players outside their hotel. Security de-escalated without involving the cops, but the vibes? Office. The whole thing got way too real, way too fast, and all of it over one on-court moment. Add to that, Chennedy's rep. This wasn't her first brush with controversy. Back in 2021, she was suspended by the Atlanta Dream for conduct detrimental to the team. Same thing with the Sparks in 2022. Then came Chicago, where she looked sharp, but didn't stick. Now, she's trying to get back in, and the Caitlin Clark question is unavoidable. To be fair, Clark herself has been nothing but mature throughout. After the hit, she never called out Carter. She stayed focused, let her game talk, and this season, she's doing just that. Making plays, leading Indiana, and handling pressure like a vet. So, while Caitlin thrives, Carter's out here trying to reframe the past, saying it wasn't personal, saying it was just basketball, saying there's no beef. And who knows, maybe that's true. Maybe it really was just heat of the moment stuff. Ball is emotional. Ask any hooper. But the internet? It doesn't forget. Prince, who went undrafted amid controversy over alleged harassment, already has her own cloud of drama. Pair her with Carter? That's viewership, for all the wrong reasons. Entertaining? Maybe, but that ain't the culture the league's trying to build. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark and Chennedy Carter both say they've moved on. No beef, no hard feelings, and maybe that's enough for them. But for fans, for teams watching closely, for GMs weighing culture versus talent, the jury's still out. So now as Clark continues doing Clark things and carving her name into WNBA history, Carter is on the outside looking in, waiting, hoping, explaining. Whether this is redemption or just rebranding, well, we'll find out when or if a team decides to take a chance.